What's up, everybody? Thank you again for joining me for another episode of What's to Ya. Before we get started, I want you guys to go like, subscribe, leave a rating, leave a review. I greatly appreciate it. Just let me know how I'm doing. If you enjoyed a guest, make sure you check their description in our bio. It has the links to the music, their socials. That way you can lock in. But with that said, let's just get right to it. Tevo Jordan, man, I gotta ask, what's to you?
Man, what's to me? Tevo Jordan, born and raised in Quincy, Illinois. Currently living in Champaign, Illinois. I've been doing music since I was 15. Fell in love with it. Homie Big T kind of showed me the ropes and how to get into it, how to make music. And from there, I was able to perform, open up for Twista, a couple other headlining acts and throughout the tri-states. And I'm 31 now, kind of brings me to this point where I'm still making music, and I got an album releasing October 20th. So be on the lookout for that.
Word. That's what's up, man. Who's Big T?
Big T, Terry Hodges, childhood friend. He been doing music, since junior high. I always had a love for hip hop, and I was inspired by him, and he kind of showed me how to write the bars, and we recorded my first song, and I just kind of fell in love with it from there. So
yeah, what was your first song?
It was a remix of Big Things Poppin' by T.I.
Word. Big.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. Now, a lot of people when they see the growth over the years, they start to take down their first couple tracks. Is that still available, or you kind of took it down and sent it to
No, that's lost in the hard drive somewhere in the trash pile somewhere.
No, I know how that goes. I know how that goes.
I was trash, man. I was trash, bro. I ain't
we
even
all
gonna
start somewhere.
even wrote it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all start somewhere, man.
Right.
But you've came a long way since then. Like you mentioned, you've opened for Twista and you just traveled around the tri-states performing.
Yep.
What's been your favorite part about music?
I love creating. That's definitely my favorite part. That's kind of self-explanatory. Any artist is gonna say creating, but like making new music, putting together albums. I just recently been consistently making music for like the last 2 years. I had took a break for like some years, and I got back into it, and I'm like full steam ahead, and things are really looking good for me right now.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad it's kind of turned around.
Yep.
Kind of explain your hiatus. What were you going through? What were the emotions? Like what made you take the break and what made you come back?
Right. I think life, going through things, unsure of where I'm at, and like, like a 9 to 5 career, or I hit that point where I probably did like from, I would say, about 17 to 20 years old. I probably did about, anywhere from like 30 shows. And then I hit that point where, I was in a group, Block 5, shout out, me, T, and the fam back home. But we did a lot of music, and then, it just kind of dwindled off to the point where, uh, I didn't have my own setup, and I kind of lost the passion for it, I'd say. And that's kind of where it ended for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. So doing all those shows kind of put you at a high, and when it
Right.
came to the lows, you're like, what the fuck?
And like, especially the music I was making, it wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? Learning, as you go, and like where I'm at now, like it's just creatively me. But at that point, it was more like, riding the trend. So uh I needed some time to figure out where I was and who I was gonna be as an artist.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I respect that a ton. I respect that a ton.
sure.
So what is the biggest difference when you look back on your sound?
I followed a lot of trend. I listened to a lot of trap back then, the early 2000,
Yeah.
6 to 2012, Jeezy,
You said
Gucci
T.I.
Mane,
remix. So
T.I., yeah, T.I., all that. And I followed the trend, and I ain't gonna say go search it, but you could listen to all my past music. It just wasn't me, it wasn't necessarily what I stood for and whatnot. It just didn't make sense to me. So
yeah.
yeah.
So who are you today?
Um I've definitely found out creatively like where I want to go with things, and being sure of it, and being authentically me and making the best music I can. I have no time for average work. You know what I
Or
mean? I'm in this to be the best I can be, and I believe the music is creatively real. So
yeah, that's what's up, man. So you mentioned like during that time period how you struggled to really balance like work and things like
right.
that. How did you find the balance for your music career, your family life, and then like just personal time?
Um, like personal time and career, I'd say like I don't bring my creative side studio to work, and I don't bring my work home to my passion. You know what I mean?
Word.
I find the balance in between that. Even though I have a job where I drive and I listen to beats and stay creative, but I don't let it affect what I got going on, trying to make money. And then my passion, I'm driving to make money, but I don't let them two mix and coexist. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a good boundary to have, I think, when it comes to music.
right,
Because you can I think me personally, when I was in a bank, I was always so focused on music.
right, exactly. And you
And that
drive
ma
me crazy, man.
yeah, and that's pretty much what I did, and it was like, "Man, this ain't it. This ain't music," you know?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
so that's a good boundary to have.
right.
I guess to kinda share a moment with us that you felt that turning point, when you were able to, set that boundary, but also when you felt like, "Okay, music's what I wanna do."
I definitely say, even though it was at the tail end before I took the hiatus, I'd have to say the turning point and when I knew this was something that I loved would have been, there was an old venue in Quincy down on the riverfront called Johnny Bang Bangs, and Twista pulled up and did a show, and we were the last opening act before he came on. So the crowd was packed. I'm talking like 500, 600 plus.
Yeah.
And I was young. I was probably like 19, 20. I was, my eyes was open
Lit.
wide. Damn, like this is crazy. And we kind of rocked it, you know what I'm saying? So it was like a turning point to where like, when I got back into it a couple years ago, it was like, you felt this before and you want to feel this again, but you want to be on your own terms and make the best music you can, creatively real and authentic. So
Word.
yeah.
So with you creating music that style, kind of let us into your process. How do you go about, starting out your song from choosing the beat all the way down to the final mix? What's that look like?
Uh any underground artists, working with top name producers is, dime a dozen, not unless you're in-house at the label, independent label. Um, but I go through YouTube. I usually start there, YouTube type beats, and some of the best producers in the world are there, man. Like for real.
Respect.
Yeah, and I start there, but to find inspiration to like before I start creatively, I uh, I listen to my previous music. I feel like that gives me such like a place where I was and how I feel today and where I want to go with it.
Mhm.
And I think listening to other people's art, it definitely gives me inspiration also.
Yeah. Are you one of those artists that, you turn yourself on more than you turn other people when it comes to music? Like you'll play your song first?
Yeah, yeah,
I respect it. My one of my artists, Joel, he's the same way. I tell people like when they come kick it and he's around, I'm like, y'all finna listen to Joel Stevenson's the whole time y'all here. Just know. So I feel it and I respect it. For a while, I was like, bro, they're not trying to hear that right now. But it took me a little bit to learn that like that's his creative process.
right.
So I think that's cool that you guys kind of have that similarity because I really there's so many people who don't play their own music, which to me is kind of weird. But I get it.
I'd have to say like I don't necessarily like play it for other people, like like jump on it, like listen to me. This is what I do.
Yeah.
But like, but to give myself inspiration when I'm by myself, that's definitely where I start.
Word.
Yeah,
So is that a way you kind of keep yourself grounded and maintain your authenticity as an artist?
yeah. Just going back, realizing all the things that I've done in the music so far in this last couple years, and even back then, it kind of drives me to the point of like I'm never satisfied, man. Like never satisfied to the point where it drives me crazy to the point like I just want to perfect a song. I want to, I don't really reach for hits, but like to have a classic song and a respected record is what I aim for. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I stay around it. And just I have people that come up to me all the time and just speak on, that music put me in a place, that I'm better today. So that's what keeps me grounded.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Now, what's a classic record look like to you?
bars, and a dope beat. A message that's received to the listener, like, it got them through something. It's not about what you got, the money you got, or nothing like that, or any club record whatsoever. A classic record to me is more, something that stands the test of time.
Word.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
So let me just to keep moving forward, man. I think your definition of a classic record is dope because it doesn't pertain to status or anything. It's simply
Right.
like,
Yeah.
did I help someone?
Yeah.
So I think that's dope. What is probably one of your most memorable like encounters or message that you've received as an artist from a fan or a supporter about your
Well,
music?
yeah, I've got a lot of conversation, throughout the years, but like, now that I've released a nice size catalog, I get messages on Instagram, people that listen to my music when I play it for them, they give me respect and show me, how much I've come along, and everybody's proud of me. But usually the messages on Instagram, and even got a shout out from one of the St. Lunatics up in St. Louis. So they heard
That's
one of
what's
my,
up.
they said it was a dope record. So
That's what's up, man. Can I ask you something super personal?
go ahead.
Are you proud of you?
Yeah, man, I'm definitely proud of me. Like, I've had a couple rough, like, last 6 years just dealing with depression and anxiety issues and going through everything. And like music's been an outlet that has kind of saved my life. So I got family that loves me. I got a fiance that's been there for me. But when I want to get creative and find an outlet to vent what I'm going through, it's definitely music.
Yeah. Respect, man.
Yep.
So that I think that's awesome because a lot of people like hesitate. So you're very confident in your answer. So I really do respect that.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. Appreciate it.
so I guess since you've dealt with like depression and some low lows, it sounds like what's one piece of advice you would give to an aspiring musician?
Just remain your authentic true self, man. Like when you go to create, music is digital nowadays. It lasts a lifetime. It's just not like on a CD that gets passed around and lost, thrown in the trash. This is stuff that lasts for a lifetime. So when you spit it on wax, make sure it's you, true, and do the best you can, because there's somebody out there that will respect it and love it for what it is.
Word. That's real as fuck, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
That boy's spitting right now.
yeah,
God
yeah,
damn.
yeah, yeah,
So that's awesome. I guess man, nah, I respect that piece. I'm gonna quote that.
yeah,
Uh
yeah, yeah.
so with music, how did you kind of envision the role of music in your life? Like how what does it look like to you?
It started out just me being a listener. But as I've grown and started, creating myself, music has grown to be a part of me. And like, it's just a way of life, like hip hop's a way of life. And I'm proud to say that the man I am today and the music that I create is what I've always wanted to do. And the place that I'm at now is definitely where I want to be, where I've always envisioned myself. And in like 10 years time, I imagine myself to just have my music respected. I don't want to say I don't want to make it, because I want to reach the masses, but like underground, somebody who's looked at as somebody who was talented and definitely gets the respect for his music. That's where I
Yeah.
want to be.
Nah, I feel that. That's kind of I relate to that a lot because you want to leave a good imprint. You want people to you want to leave that good taste. You want to leave somebody with a better experience. So I feel that, man.
Yeah, there's so much crap, out there in the rap world that it's not for everybody. So I try to make music that'll appeal to most. Not everybody's gonna love it, but as long as I can, change somebody's way of like a day or maybe the perspective or how they're thinking and maybe get them through something, that's good enough with me.
No, that's real.
Yeah.
Let's actually jump into the mainstream after this, because so you chose the segment This or That, and I
Yeah.
think that's really cool. You're the first artist that chose that. So This or That, I'm gonna shoot a few things at you, and you just tell me this or that. You don't have to elaborate. No need to elaborate on them. We'll revisit them, especially if I see you taking a minute to choose. We'll revisit them.
All
So
right.
we'll jump into This or That, man. So let's get started. This or that, rap verses or sing choruses,
Rap versus bars or everything.
jazz fusion or blues rock.
I'm about to go blues rock.
Word. All right. Producing beats or writing lyrics.
Writing lyrics. Artist first.
Headlining your own tour or opening for a musical legend.
Everybody got to pay their dues. I'm about to go with opening for a legend.
Respect.
Yeah.
Classic music or EDM.
Classic music.
Would you want to be Grammy Award winner for Best New Artist or have Song of the Year?
I'm about to go song of the year.
All right. Favorite instrument, piano or violin?
I'm about to go with piano.
Word.
Definitely a dope piano beat.
All right. So I like this one. Prince or Michael Jackson?
I'm gonna go Prince. Purple
Oof.
Rain.
And then a tour bus or a private jet?
Tour bus for sure. That's how you build relationships.
Word. All right. Last one. Songwriting session in nature or in the heart of the city?
Oh, in nature, for sure.
Word. Word. Respect, man. This or that. Let's talk about some of those answers, man. So I don't know if you necessarily sing your choruses, but the track I heard that you sent me, you had a feature that was singing choruses.
I think I know
Now,
what you're talking about.
yeah. So when it came to rap versus or singing choruses, what for you on certain songs, maybe not your songs, certain songs, which you like listen for the most?
A dope chorus will always bring a song together, and that might be the part that might be the most memorable. But for me, like writing songs, what you say in a 16, you can definitely give somebody the vision of a song. You know what I'm saying? More than just the chord. Yeah.
Word. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I respect it. I was just curious because I find myself singing my heart out to the chord, So another one I want to kind of dabble on, because this I actually wasn't expecting this, so I do respect your answer when I asked headlining your own tour or opening for a musical legend. Why did you choose opening for a musical legend?
Man, just the type of crowd and the venue you would be in. And, I know they're there to see them opening, but that's your chance to shine. You know what I mean? And headlining your tour, you might be established and they might know your records, but to go along with the legend and learn the game from them would be more memorable to me. Yeah.
Word. Yeah, that they could just always kick free game too. Like,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, you never know. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Put you on to some things, give you some wisdom, some guidance on how to navigate through the music industry, because we all know it's tough. So
Yeah, it's tough, and it's doing your own research on everything. It's training when you just want to make the songs and release the songs. And
yeah, even when I was a younger artist, I always heard the word pay your dues. So that's why I went with that answer.
word. Okay.
I'm all about
But what does that mean
pay your dues.
in
Yeah.
music? What does that mean?
Uh, you're at the start, whether it's meeting somebody for the first time, gaining their respect, their trust. It means you haven't been doing this longer than them. So you got to prove to them what you're capable of.
Word.
Yeah.
Word. So it doesn't mean go get me chocolate cake or whatever Diddy sent
Yeah,
Buddy
no.
on.
This ain't making a band.
Yeah.
I ain't I'm running across the street for no cheesecake.
Oh yeah. Uh, so for the Grammy Award, you chose Song of the Year
Right.
over Best New Artist.
Yeah.
Tell me why Song of the Year is preferred.
Best new artist is cool. You could be in that position, but you know, I feel like the Grammys have gotten watered down. You know, I read something where they're even letting AI songs be Grammy nominated, and I just think that's wild, man.
Yeah.
So Song of the Year is something that resonated with a lot of people, and I feel like that's a better look.
Yeah.
That means
You know,
you've established yourself into a place where the song is a hit and it's respected. So
yeah. No, I actually agree now that you mentioned that, because I would much rather have the song of the year with everybody singing that motherfucker
yeah,
instead of
yeah,
being the best new artist and people being like, who is that?
right. Anthem, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not even gonna revisit the Prince versus Jackson one because we could talk all night about that.
Right.
But I guess the last,
That's a tough one too.
yeah, I thought it was good. That's all.
That was on the fly. I couldn't really have time to think about that.
So I guess the last one I'll kind of follow up with you on is like the songwriting, your process. You said in nature, is that something you find yourself doing a lot, or?
Yeah, I would say so. I find inspiration from anywhere. Like all it takes is to have the right beat. As soon as I lock in on a beat and it's something with some drums and some kicks and some, just that sound that, my typical sound, kind of boom bap more than
Yeah.
anything, or some soul. So as soon as I lock in on that, I could be anywhere, but nature would definitely be picked for
Word.
sure.
Respect, man. So let's move forward to, actually, let's backtrack. So you
Okay.
had brought up the mainstream media before we jumped into this or that, man. How do you feel about what's played on in the mainstream air, radio, stuff like that?
Man, I don't call myself no hater, bro, but a lot of that stuff just ain't for me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just listen to some of the music that's, mainstream. It's just, I miss the 90s. I miss
Yeah.
the early 2000s, the classic records that actually had some meaning and some substance behind it, that could definitely stand the test of time. This stuff is just here and there. It's gone. You know what I'm saying? The next
Yeah.
15 minutes of fame for somebody else is coming on a record that has no substance whatsoever. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think one thing I've noticed as I've gotten older, like you mentioned earlier, you're in your 30s and I'm approaching. I
Right.
think one thing I've noticed is, you know, it's very targeted to a
Yeah.
specific age group, and it's it's forced on them in a sense because there's good music out there.
Yes, there is. Yeah. You just gotta find it. You gotta weave through it.
Yeah,
And
but if you take an
there's a
average
new artist
listener,
every go ahead, I'm sorry.
no, you got it, you got it.
There's like a new artist every day. So and somebody's releasing something every day. There's, I think I saw the math one time. I'm talking worldwide. There's like, I think it was like 25,000 new releases every day. Then that might be a low. That might be low. I don't remember.
100,000.
100,000. Yeah, exactly. So, finding what's good for you is tough. It's
Yeah,
a market.
I agree. I agree, but I think so. We kind of, but it's like that's the mainstream is what's gonna get people through the door because it's all they're hearing. But man, there's so much good music out there, and I sometimes I wish the average listener was like an above average listener because there's so many dope talents, even from the area we're from. Like we're so slept on, but it's so fire. Like I'm so excited for this show.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So all right, so we got less than 10 minutes, man. I still want to talk about a few things. So let's talk about your upcoming project. You said October 20th you were dropping a tape.
Yeah.
Uh, what's
Um,
what can people expect to hear on that?
Man, there's a lot of features. I can tell you that, which is a good thing. And a lot of my projects have been like EPs. I wouldn't even consider them albums, and I hate to be like that because a body of work is a body of work, and it is collective and it sounds good. But this album, Don't Want to Let It Go, October 20th dropping. Tevo Jordan. It got so many features. I don't want to miss any. I don't want to leave anybody out, so I'm not even going to get into that. But it's 20 records and it is my best work to date. I can say that.
Word. So
It's,
okay.
but
Uh,
be looking for that because it's coming. I plan on starting marketing and everything pretty soon.
Word. That's what's up, man. And make sure I get that link. I'll put it in the description, and we can just But I think that's dope, man. You're someone I actually respect your perspective on that. How you don't want to call it an album or anything like that. Man, like you said,
Right.
we're in a digital age, so mixtape, album, like
Yeah,
you
it's the same
know,
thing.
a lot of that stuff is done away with, and which sucks in a sense because I wish the mixtapes like kind of came back a little bit in a sense because it was cool to see how creative someone else would tackle a popular track or something like that. I always thought that was cool.
Right.
I've even told my team to like change it, like just call it a project, like
Yeah.
just call it a project. But
I think it's more meaningful to call it a project, because you lets you know that you know as long as you know within yourself that you're putting your best work down and you're cutting good records, you know, it's a project. I don't see why it shouldn't be called one. So yeah.
word, much respect, man. So,
Yep.
you mentioned opening up for Twista and things earlier. I do want to hit on that too. Like, what is your performance history? How did you go about perform? Let me backtrack. Sorry. How did you go about getting the features for your project?
Just building connections. Like most of the people, like all right, I got like Caboose. I got like 5 or 6 records with him. He's out of Bemidji. I think I said that right, Minnesota. Met him through Bill. You know, we
Word,
built a relationship. You know, he mixes a lot of my music, and then I got Alyssa Jane, hit her up through Instagram. I've been, you know, following her. She's mad talented. Her and Caboose is mad talented. And then I got Motion Plus, you know, Quincy
word,
Legend.
on
Uh,
God.
yeah, he's dope, and we've been building for a long time, even back when we were at Turner Hall performing, doing Worlds Collide. I was on 1 and 2, booked for that, and then ever since then, you know, I went to school with his son, so we've been building, and then Strategy, you know, he's cool through Bill, you know, got he showed me mad love, and we um we connected and got a record done, and then John Davis, that's a new one. Shout out Jim's Pool Room before I get any farther. That's the independent label I'm rocking with right now, and
Word,
that's out of St. Louis. We're gonna do big things, and I'm also releasing my album on digital, all platforms, and through Bandcamp through Jim's Pool Room. So watch for that. It's gonna be whatever you want to pay for the album on Jim's Pool Room. So that's a shout out to them.
word.
Capo Squad.
Make sure I get the links. I'll put in the description of this, man. I got you.
Okay,
That's what's
and
up, man.
I don't want to leave anybody out. AB, that's the
Word.
homie, man. Yeah, that's the homie. I know partnered artists.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the homie. We've built a real good relationship, and we got some records in the can. So, and I really can't wait to see what he does in the next 5 years because I think he's real talented.
Yeah.
And he's on there twice actually. Then I got Alyssa again on a record called "Count It Out," and I think I'm forgetting somebody, but yeah,
You
that's
giving
that's
me
what
all the juice. All you
yeah.
got, all you gotta do when you clip this and be like, tag and be like,
Capo on writing again in the album. He's dope. He produced the beat also. So
okay, that's what's up, man. It sounds like it's stacked.
yeah, it's that, bro. This album, I played it back. I've been playing it back since it got completed. Like I said, I was done at 12 records. I said I was done at 18 records, and then I keep making more music. Now I'm at 20, and I promise you, I'm done. I listened to it today, and man, just wait on it.
How's it feel to be? So, are you officially signed with them, or you kind of have the
Uh,
same setup
it's
as like a
more of an
partnership?
it's a partnership. We're all
Or
independent. We signed. I don't even get too detailed into it, but we didn't sign no contracts or anything. It's more like an exposure. You know what I'm saying? We just kind of rock together and support each other.
word, like a network? Yeah, word. That's what's up. That's
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
up.
That's kind of what I would want to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Good luck.
because there's a lot of little labels out there, and I'm sure they mean well, man. But like, I've had people approach people on my team,
Right.
and it's just the main thing about being signed is they're supposed to give you the capital.
Right. Yep.
If you ain't got it, why am I signing to you? So I think that's why I always prefer the partnership. I always tell artists go with the partnership first. Test the water, see what they can really even offer you, you know?
Yep.
So, but that's
Um,
what's up that you have that conglomerate.
yeah, I'm fully independent. I do everything by myself, and yeah, it's working out for me. Like, you know, I'm creating a bigger buzz, and I'm hoping with this album that I can change the minds of the people. So
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Well, don't I look forward to having you on my show at Spookfest, man. I'm excited. Um, I had no idea you had, because we worked together at Hibbit.
Yeah.
And I had no idea how in tune with music you were, because when I was at Hibbit, that's when I was getting started as a
Yeah.
promoter.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Definitely. You know, and can't think of the homie's name. What's his name, man?
Jairus.
Yeah, Jairus. Yeah. He told me that you rap even at one point. So that's about all I got. That's about all I got. And as soon as I left Hibbit, you know, you went to Hannibal right as you started to be an assistant manager. And
Yeah.
then you took off from there. So I'm glad we, you know,
Yeah, I'm
reconnected.
glad we found our way back, because I
Yeah.
had seen you a couple times and I wanted to ask, but it was at the same time, I can't even front. Like my ego was like, man, I'm doing this shit like for real. So it was like,
Yeah,
if they want,
I
huh?
wasn't doing the shit. I had just started back up and I wasn't in a place to even, you know, step to you on some business stuff. So
See, and that's kind of why I thought, because Jaden was like, yo, Tevin does music too. I was like, oh, word, like I'll holler at him. And then it was just like, nah. I was like, oh, all right then. And then I say it was my ego, because we at first, bro, it was like, yeah, I'm doing this, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But I've kind of died that down a little bit, because everybody can eat in this shit, and I learned that like very quickly, that everybody can eat, and that's kind of how it's set up. So I look forward to having you at Spookfest, man. I really do. And I'm excited you're bringing out everybody that you are. I ain't gonna give away no hints or nothing. I'll let you do that. But
yeah.
I look forward to just including you in my rollout for Spookfest and things like that, and seeing what you do and bring to the stage, man. Like I'm super excited. I'm glad you're on the bill for that.
Yeah, we're gonna start from there, and hopefully in the future we can definitely work more when you bring, you know, the shows this way. So, but
Because it's coming.
go ahead.
No, I was just like, it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming quick. It's like 45 days away or something like that. October 28th, the one event venue, Spookfest, Hurricane Wisdom's the headliner. Get there at 5. Be ready. It's going down. So, and I'm putting on a hell of a show. So be there.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on my platform and answering
Yes,
the
sir.
question, what's to you?
Yes,
Where can
sir.
people follow you to support you?
Instagram Tevo_Jordan, or you can follow me on my personal page. I haven't really made a fan page, sad enough. On Facebook, Tevin Jordan, Tevin, last name Jordan, like Michael.
Word. Thank you so much for taking the time, man. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll be in touch soon. All right.
All right, bro. Peace.
Peace.
King.